Someone please explain this game to me. What the heck did I just watch? The Toronto Raptors go on the road on a back-to-back against the Orlando Magic, a team that I'm told is supposed to be pretty good, a dominant powerhouse in the Eastern Conference, a team that is supposed to be competing for something, a team that has gone through the entire rigmarole that the Raptors are going through right now, which is, the lottery balls. They have several top picks, including Paolo Banchero. Some people think Paolo's a future franchise player. And, Franz Wagner, who I rate personally, I think he's very, very good player. They made the win now move for KCP, and this is a team that is supposed to be a heck of a lot better than they are right now. And they are under 500 right now. They're 29-34 after tonight. And the Raptors did everything humanly possible to hand this game to the Orlando Magic, as evidenced by the lineups. I look, I have been saying all year that the Toronto Raptors are stealth tanking, that they are doing things deliberately designed to lose basketball games, whether that means Scotty Barnes taking 8 threes when he can't hit one in the ocean, whether that means, playing lineups with multiple, weak defenders, playing these suboptimal lineups. I used to call it VR missions, right? And I just think I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like what we saw tonight. I mean, the Raptors did everything. Okay, look, at the very least, they haven't done anything so egregious as to rest their starters in the fourth quarter yet. Okay. Yeah, sure. They've milked a few injuries. They've milked the Jakob Pertl injury. They've created an artificial minutes restriction for a guy who's perfectly healthy. I can tell you right now, I think Brandon Ingram is perfectly healthy and could play right now if you really needed him to. And I think, all year it's been like these really close losses. And, if you want to see a twin team in the Western Conference doing something very similar, that's the Utah Jazz, right? Asking Lauri Markkanen to take weird shots, asking, they're playing Isaiah Collier and guys like this down the stretch. There's some questionable, timeouts on a fast break, stuff like that. You feel for guys like Will Hardy and Darko Rajakovic, who are in this ugly business in which losing is incentivized. However, you really do have to you have to look at this and just say, didn't you see this coming? I've been saying all year, I don't think this team is bad enough to tank. And that's a worrying thing because the schedule was easy. Sorry, the schedule was damn hard. And you were losing all these really close games. And you can seduce yourself into thinking, oh my God, we got to hold on to top five. We got to hold on to top five. It's like you were not supposed to be top five in this draft lottery. You were supposed to be at worst 12th. At best, you weren't supposed to have a lottery pick this year. And I was pretty firm that I thought the Raptors would be a play-in or playoff team this year. And so this is where, Daryl saying loved the Nav interview. People go watch the Nav interview after this. Absolutely. Please definitely go watch that. Big shout out to Nav Bhatia for coming through and, having such a wonderful conversation. He was so nice. Even after he was just like, oh, he didn't realize I was in Toronto. He thought I was on he thought I was in Montreal. So he's like, when you're in Toronto next time, you come down, you come talk to my security. I'll get you courtside, and we can enjoy the Raptors together. You can tell me like what you see, and I'm like, holy crap, this dude is really, this is a really cool dude. Anyways, back to this game. AJ Lawson, 3-pointers. Jacoby Walter with the huge game winner. You got to feel happy for Jacoby. We're going to look at a little bit of game film. I got to tell you, I am completely wrecked. Pendance was, a marathon, 22 hours a day. I apologize to anybody that I haven't gotten back to in like 3 days, 4 days, 6 days at this point. But from Wednesday till basically 20 minutes ago, I have been packed. So, panel commitments, PENSARE basketball commitments. I appreciate y'all for being very, very patient on this one. What a game to come back to, though. What a game to come back to. I turned this one on midway through the first quarter, fully expecting, the Raptors. I mean, Scotty Barnes was playing hard. Emmanuel quickly had a little bit of a tough game. I think RJ Barrett played very, very well for the most part. Cold from the free throw line, but that's, to be expected on the road with RJ Barrett. But, the playmaking down the stretch was great. And then you get to the fourth quarter, and 8 minutes into the fourth quarter, you see Scotty Barnes go to the bench. You see Jakob Pertl already on the bench, and you're like, okay, well, it's nice. They've staggered his minutes to never, ever allow Jakob Pertl to close a game. And, the Raptors are going to try to throw this game with youth and AJ Lawson. And, for the most part, it was a winning strategy if for the tank. I mean, AJ Lawson had made a lot of mistakes throughout most of this game. These youth-led lineups have traditionally struggled this year. And so, you take that and you say, okay, we're just going to let Paolo do whatever he wants. We're not going to stop it. We're going to allow him to score 20 points. And Paolo Banchero does not need an invitation to score. That dude is looking to score all the time. And if you're not going to put a competent defender on him, he's going to go to the basket. The 41 points are very misleading, in my opinion. He scored over 20 of them in the fourth quarter. Let's take a look at this game overall for the Raptors. I mean, huge tank implications. Your hardest game remaining. Let me say this with a very big face, okay? Your hardest game remaining for the rest of the year is the Detroit Pistons. I'm going to say that again. The hardest game remaining for the rest of the fucking year is the Detroit Pistons. A team that I genuinely think the Raptors are better than. So, I mean, like, shit. You should be favored to win literally every single game for the rest of the year. Do you know what I mean? Yo, big up. Stephen MC with $100 super chat and a very, very nice picture of a dog there. Thank you very much, Stephen MC. That's a huge that's very, very generous of you. Thank you very much. I am very happy to be back. I do love film, man. I do love film. I'll tell you all about it a little bit later in this chat. As you can see, I still have all the PENSARE basketball. The Pendance branding up. I will definitely talk about what happened with Pendance, but first let's talk about this game. But Steven, big ups to you, man. Thank you so much for this. That's very nice of you. Yeah, overall, the Raptors shot 40% from three. The Magic shot 41.7% from three. Couldn't tell in that third quarter, though. Damn, you couldn't tell in that third quarter. The Magic were laboring to score. They went minutes upon minutes without a field goal. And, it really started with that scuffle. This was a very physical game. It's a bit of a callback to the 90s, if you will, right? It was just a lot of, pushing, shoving, grabbing, and there weren't a lot of calls, right? It wasn't like a free throw. It wasn't like a free throw game. So, like, overall, yeah, like the Raptors do get to the line 35 times. The Magic gets to the line 23 times. The Raptors convert, on 3/4 of their free throws. They win the rebounding battle, which is just all heart and hustle, and a huge credit to Scotty Barnes, having a ton of rebounds in this game. I've often said you can really gauge where Scotty is, when you see his rebounding. In those games where he's at 3-4 rebounds, you can just tell he's not locked in. He's just not locked in those games. But those games where he gets double-digit rebounds, it's usually good. The Raptors had, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 10 turnovers in the first quarter. They really need to cut that shit out, and obviously, like, a large part of this season right now, what are you trying to do with this season? I mean, it really does come down to, like, a few things. Number one, you're trying to get some experience for these young players that you have on this roster because you have some vision of a future for them on your team going beyond this year, right? That's Jacoby Walter, that's Jamal Shed. You want to get some experience for these guys. Number two, you want to get some chemistry going between Scotty Barnes and Emmanuel Quickley, who have had, frankly, to this point in their Raptors tenure together, have had the chemistry of oil and water. You also want to get some good reps for Emmanuel Quickley and Jakob Poeltl. Presumably, that's going to be a really, really big part of who's going to be anchoring your second unit next year in some of those lineups, right? And RJ Barrett, you want to get him some rep with those younger guys in the second unit as well, right? You want to get Scotty Barnes a little bit more fluid, a little bit healthier, right? You don't want to overtax him with the season sort of out of hand. But I think we got to talk about, is this season out of hand? Is this season out of hand? I feel like we've been doing this for months now. It feels like for months we've been going back and forth on the could it happen? Could it happen? Yo, the Raptors are 22 games under 500, and yes, they can still make the playoffs. What does that say about this newly initiated play-in tournament? And what does that say about the ridiculousness of the Eastern Conference right now? That at 20-42, like, think about that record. In a 62-game season, that record is usually good for a top 5 pick. And right now, it is good for a top 5 pick. How much longer, though? With the Brooklyn Nets and the Philadelphia 76ers closing in on you, how much longer is that going to be sufficient? I don't think that's going to be sufficient for very long. And I really got to tell you, I mean, just let it go, man. Let go of that presumable. Like, I don't know what the Raptors can do. Do you have any ideas? Like, I would love to see Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster right now. Like, they're doing everything possible. They've come out and said we're praying to the lottery gods. They're obviously giving directives here. You should have seen Scotty Barnes and Caleb Houston after the game. And Caleb Houston just went up to him like, "What are y'all doing?" And Scotty's just like, "I don't know. Like, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not the one." But do you see how happy this team is? Did you see how happy Scotty was? Like, the last time I saw Scotty this happy for somebody else scoring a basket, and Scotty's always happy for his teammates, was probably Pascal Siakam when he dropped the huge game in Madison Square Garden. Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was Scotty or OG. Like, it was one of those guys. They had a huge game, and he was just so happy. He was like trying to throw water on him and shit, and Pascal wasn't having it. Well, today Jacoby got the water. Jacoby got the water. Jacoby got picked up like a child, which I don't think he appreciated at all, reading his body language. Scotty was hyped. He was just so excited. He was so happy. RJ was so happy. Emmanuel was so happy. And yeah, of course, they could be pissed. They could be so pissed. They could be looking at this and saying, what the fuck? We're playing so hard, and you're putting AJ Lawson with the game on the line, curling off for a three. And he's hitting it. And you know what? That's a team. Like, this is a team building thing. And you know what? If you tell me right now, hey, the Raptors are shifting focus, the Raptors are no longer interested in the lottery, the Raptors are going full in for the play-in because they believe that with Brandon Ingram, they can actually push, I don't know, Boston or Cleveland. I'm not even against it. I'm not really all that against it, because at this point, you look at the schedule ahead, you're going to make the play-in by default. You might as well do something with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the hell is the gap here? The best you're going to do is give yourself the ninth best chance at Cooper Flight. You might as well just say, screw it. Why don't we just go for the play-in, man? Why don't we just go for the playoffs? Let's see what happens. Let's go face this Orlando team with a one-game winner takes all on the line. Let's go face the Miamis of the world. What are you losing at that point? You know what I mean? Like, this team is too good. You know what I mean? When they're healthy, they're too good. Now, since I've been off the air a little bit for the last two games, I apologize. Some of y'all, had to find somewhere else to go for your post-game content. Appreciate y'all for coming back. There was a report that RJ Barrett will likely be moved, or could have been moved from the Brandon Ingram trade, which was I thought that was an open secret. I thought that was known by everybody, but apparently not. And this is news now. And so, this is like the last two games. This is like an RJ Barrett response as well. Like, oh, you're going to trade me? You're going to move me? I'm the hometown kid. I've gotten better. And I feel like, as much as the conversation I've heard on the panel today, I did hear a little bit about, RJ Barrett getting moved, and, is RJ Barrett good? Is he a top 50 player, 100 player, etc.? Shoot. Like, I think he's better than this. I think his playmaking has evolved to a point. His defense has gotten a little bit better, to the point where he's not chopped liver. He's certainly a lot better than the player that came over in that New York deal. Emmanuel quickly has struggled, and he continues to struggle tonight. 4 for 9 from the field, kind of like, a little bit mixed bag when it comes to initiation and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry. I look at this team and I'm just like, I wouldn't pick against them. I wouldn't pick against them in the play-in. So, you want experience. Maybe you don't think you're ready for a championship. Cool. But if you really genuinely wanted to tank, like, you had to do what the Wizards are doing or the Pelicans are doing. You need a little bit of bad chemistry. This team is too connected. It's too good. That's a lot of what it comes down to. We watched the team in 2022, 2023 lose a lot of games that they were supposed to win because players genuinely didn't like being around each other. Players were not talking. Players were not communicating. And that's how you lose basketball games, right? But you put an AJ Lawson thinking, oh, AJ Lawson's not very talented. You put the Raptors 905, but if you play the right way and the other team misses enough shots, you're going to be in every game. Good luck trying to lose against the Utah Jazz. Good luck, man. It's going to be tough as hell, right? Now, again, Chris Boucher, he's not playing. He would help. He would help tremendously tonight. You got Orlando Robinson playing 24 minutes. Big shout outs to Orlando Robinson getting his contract converted. You got Jared Rhoden playing 21 minutes. Jonathan Mobile got injured. Grady Dick obviously out for 2 weeks, not playing. He's injured. Ochai Agbaji injured. Okay, so this is the Hospice Raptors that went up against a fully healthy, well, apart from Jalen Suggs, pretty much fully healthy Orlando Magic team, and Jalen Suggs and Mo Wagner, who are out for the season, and beat them, and could have frankly beaten them by 20. They were up huge in this game. Take a look real quick here. Like, the Raptors were supposed to win this game all the way through, and then right at the end, they tried to give it away. They were up 5, and not only had they pulled Scotty Barnes, not only had they pulled Jakob Poeltl, now they decided to pull R.J. Barrett for Jared Roden. Yo. And they said, Jacoby, carry us home. And he said, bet, I will. Paolo Banchero, like literally on site, boom, right away. Hits a step back 3. Then, next time down the court, Jamal Shed, little turnover. Paolo comes down. I think it was a Paolo drive or a Franz drive. One of the two guys hits a drive on the next one. And, with 4 seconds to go, Jacoby just hits that 3. I saw it in real time. I thought his foot was on the line. Seeing the replay, I'm like, oh, shoot, he actually made it. Now, there's a lot of people to thank for this game in terms of, credit for the win. Obviously, I think Scotty's defense was incredible. I think RJ Barrett's playmaking was very good. His attacks at the rim, getting to the line, even though he didn't make a ton of free throws, I think getting to the line, slowed the game down. I think Jakob Poeltl was great, overall. I think Jacoby was incredible tonight. So, no, Rob, the motion he took made it seem like it was a 3. Sure. Brother, you're totally a Canadian. Keep apologizing. Play ghetto appointees for nothing. Huh? Is that me or who are we talking to here? Yeah. I mean, we probably not going to talk about the tariffs, but that shit just did happen today. That's going to suck. But if you want to feel any better about it, it's going to suck very, very much for the United States as well. Okay, here. I do want to give a quick shout out to everyone who showed up for Pendance this past weekend. It meant a lot. I got to meet a lot of you. It was very cool. I got to see Allison. Vince was at the gala. Vince attended a screening. It was very cool. We got to see Jonathan. I got to sit and actually have a beer with Jonathan. That was very cool. I played Mortal Kombat with Jonathan, and I somehow beat him. That was pretty cool. I got to meet so many of you, and it was very, very gratifying weekend. It was a very gratifying weekend. A lot of hard work went into Pendance. I do want to say, and I want to just sort of acknowledge this, that the Basketball State documentary that I pushed as hard as humanly possible, as much as I could, as hard as I could. I talked about it endlessly. I brought Gabe on. We talked about it here. I offered free tickets. I talked about it on the panel. I did everything humanly possible, in my opinion, to try and sell out the documentary. And I got to tell you, as it broke my heart that there were like 25 people who watched that film. We don't screen empty screenings at Pendance, and I need to figure out what the fuck we did wrong there, because was it the time slot? Was it the 12 o'clock? What the hell happened there? It's really sad. That dude came from LA to watch this film with 20 people. I don't think he's ever going to forget that, but I hope he felt, how much we tried for him anyway. It was a great film. The people who watched it, will tell you that for sure. It was a really good film. And I think a lot of people got a lot from it. And, big shout out to Gabe. Appreciate you. And yeah. Tonius was there. I appreciate you so much. Okay. Take a look real quick. Okay. We do have a caller. Give me 1 second here and just go through some very, very quick plays. I didn't clip a lot for tonight, but just a little bit of that defense we're talking about with Scotty Barnes on this one. Look at this one, man. Like he just kind of he does this once in a while to bigs. It's like he just knows. He has a presence to him, he'll really get very forceful defensively against bigger players like Paolo and Giannis and KD, kind of get into them a little bit and just start to be really annoying. Scotty was really annoying tonight, and I say that respectfully as a compliment. Like he was extremely annoying. Here he lets Paolo sort of slip past them just so he can chase him down for a block. Like, again, like you look at 41 points. If you didn't watch this game, you uh She Wolf saying Basketball State was excellent. Brought two teenage boys who loved it. Guys, their sequels go. Absolutely. Gabe is making sequels, dude. Like Gabe is making four. It's a four-part, four-chapter thing. He wants to get it onto a platform. I hope we, talked about it enough that we raised some awareness about the project. It's sad that, only 20, I think it was like 24 people in the theater for the screening. Should have been 150, man. It really should have been. Like that film was dope. But I realize documentaries can be a tough sell to crowd. I understand 12 o'clock. I'm just trying to think about it for next year. If we have another sports documentary, we got to partner with somebody, or we got to figure this out, because I don't want that shit to happen again to anybody. But for most part, the screenings were full. The screenings were pretty much sold out. I'll show you all a little bit about the event maybe tomorrow. We'll show you some pictures and stuff. But thanks to everyone who showed up, man. My heart is so full of gratitude, and I'll share my reflections on it a little bit after. Sorry if I'm a little bit all over the place here. Okay, all right. I mean, this is a little bit of scrappiness here. Paolo sort of taking down Jacoby Walter there, and then Jakob, a little bit of shove. They throw some technical foul. Sorry, that was not Paolo. That was Wendell Carter. I apologize. And Jakob Pertl just sticking up for his rook. I appreciate that. And it was 65-62. So the Raptors were up by 3. And I got to tell you, from the third quarter, this point on, it felt like the Magic could not score. Like they just did not have an answer. They did not have anything that they could really consistently go to. Springer saying, is Basketball State streaming anywhere so we can support him? Thank you so much, Springer. It's not streaming anywhere. That's sort of what film festivals are. We screen films that are not available anywhere else in the world to be seen publicly. So unfortunately, I had to be there. But when Basketball State does go on streaming, when it does get streamed, I promise you, God is my witness, I'm going to make up that entire screening to that dude. I'm going to make it up to him, because I personally feel like I let him down. I thought, boom, PENSARE Basketball, we got this. We did not get this, right? Some of y'all, you donated via e-transfer. I appreciate you. Some of y'all showed up. I appreciate you. To the people who got tickets and didn't show up thinking someone else will do it, I'm sorry, man. Like, we got to do better. Like, we got to do better. We got to do better. Like, we're here. He's not from here. I feel like we had a chance to show some Canadian hospitality to a really dope filmmaker, a really well-intentioned filmmaker who tracked down a ton of NBA players in his interview, and I just feel like I let him down. It's like forget like any feelings I have about anybody else. It was on me. I didn't do enough. Clearly, I didn't do enough. If the result was bad, it's on me. I fucked up. Okay, so we got to do better next time for sure. Jordan T saying, I'm coming to Pendance next year. I'll see you there. I'll see you there. Okay. All right, let's go. All right. I mean, like, over helping on like RJ kind of like, can't really handle Paolo. He's just a little too big. Orlando Robinson sitting here as the low man, and then boom, Jonathan Isaac. He can hit those, not on high volume, but he has been hitting them at a decent clip this year. So just a little too easy. Note, a couple plays later, they try the same thing again. It doesn't work. They close out a little bit better. Here, I mean, RJ Barrett with just a great pass to AJ Lawson. Watch this. Terrible defense. Just terrible defense from from Contavious Caldwell Pope. Like, what are you doing with your life? Like AJ Lawson can shoot. You might not respect him as, oh my God, he's like a 905 guy, but he can shoot, and I think the Raptors and the Magic found that out tonight. Here, AJ Lawson decides to go into prime Michael Jordan mode. Raptors up 102-101, and they've pulled pretty much most of their starters apart from RJ Barrett. And you just think, okay, boom, we've done our job. We're competitive. This is ethical. And now it's going to be the Jacoby, RJ, and AJ Lawson show against the Franz and Paolo and Jonathan Isaac show. And that should, on the road, that should lean in favor, right? Yeah, this was it. This is exactly what it was. To be clear, that's exactly what it was. I know for sure that like a lot more people would have shown up for Pendance had it not been for that stupid subway closure. And I want to tell you, in our 8 years, 3 times we have been fucked by the subway. This city needs to get its act together. 3 times. 3 times. We've only been around for 8 years. 3 times they just closed the subway down on on the weekend we're doing it. I'm not crying conspiracy. We're not big enough for there to be a citywide conspiracy against us. I just feel like this is the type of shit that like really will shutter an event down because they probably cost us thousands of dollars this weekend. So it's tough. Like it's annoying. Nevertheless, to the people who actually did show up, huge. And I will tell you, most of the screenings were absolutely full. I just feel like some of the ones that weren't probably would have been had it not been for the subway closures. Nevertheless, moving on. Oh, man. I mean, this play should definitely be studied, right? Look at this. Down the stretch here. And Tristan da Silva is just going to get lost as AJ Lawson just squares up, wide open. This is open. Tristan da Silva is nowhere near his shooting pocket. Like he's kind of like contesting past, right? He's contesting past him. But like, wow. And what a great play. Going forward, maybe reach out to the City of Toronto Transportation Department to avoid any pre-planned maintenance. We pick our dates almost a year in advance. So I don't think we are going to stop the City of Toronto from shutting down the subway. They're not going to listen to us. They don't care. There's really nothing we can do. I mean, I hate to say it. Like it's very defeatist, but like we're not TIFF. They would never do this during TIFF. They would never do this to TIFF. They would never do this to hot dogs because there's too much money involved. But they do this to us 2 times, 3 times, and we can't say shit. I mean, I'm upset. Of course I'm upset, but there's really nothing I can do about it. So Karen Hall saying, show me that play again. Sure, let's watch it again. Here, Jacoby, boom, fake, comes up, boom. So in this play, really just great. Now, we've gotten into a lot of debates with people about Tristan da Silva versus Jacoby Walter. I don't know why this is a debate at this point. One of these players is way older than the other, and I think the gap between them is not very large. But where I think the gap is very big is the upside and potential. Now, again, having not been like very plugged into the Raptors over the last 4 or 5 days, I had no idea about the Grady injury walking into this game. So I walked in thinking, hey, Jacoby's starting. I guess he finally won out. No. I'm not anti-Grady at all. I love Grady Dick. I think he's a part of the future. I just happen to be, and again, I don't like pitting players against players and all that stuff. It feels a little bit negative and unnecessarily dramatic. But if you told me that the Raptors traded away Jacoby Walter, I would be way more upset than if you told me they traded away Grady Dick. Is that just like how I would say it? You know what I mean? Like, I think, like, I feel like I've watched so much basketball in my life, and I've watched so many players come up, and I feel like I've seen so many players at 18, 19, 20, 21, and to see Jacoby, the highs of Jacoby, the the work ethic of Jacoby, and also the gaps of Jacoby, and to have had, at least over the last year, had such a good opportunity to get to know the people around him a little bit. Like, I think this guy is going to be really freaking good, and to have a signature moment like this, yes, it comes in the backdrop of, oh my God, what about the tank? What the hell is going on here, right? But yeah, I think this is a keeper. I think he's here for a long time, and I feel like the Raptors probably see that. But take a look at this play. A little bit of a clear off. Somehow finds a way to get his feet not square. This is not by anyone's definition an ideal shot at all. The landing is off. The gather is off. The release is going to be off, but somehow has the athleticism, balance, and coordination to get himself back on balance midair, mind you, midair. Okay, I feel like I'm quoting Seinfeld right now, and somehow makes it. Like, look at how happy he was. He literally, like, I don't know if y'all read lips, but literally the second he made that shot, he stepped back and said, "What the he said, "What the fuck?" You gotta feel happy for a person like this. He works extremely hard. And you know what? This is exactly what a lottery pick is. I mean, I know he went 19th. I know he went 19th, and a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, wait a second, Rob. Technically, that's not a lottery pick. 19th picks are not lottery picks." Okay, cool. They're not lottery picks. But this dude was supposed to be a lottery pick. This dude was supposed to be a lottery pick. Okay. Most people thought he should have been a lottery pick. Just because he fell down to you at 19 does not mean that he's not any bit as good as most of the players that you would have gotten in the lottery. Okay. Just because he went down to 19 and Matas Buzelis was, in the top 13, or, Devin Carter narrowly missed it. It doesn't mean he's any less than those players, frankly. And quite frankly, looking back at it, I feel like he belonged in that conversation. I believe, he belonged in that conversation. And of course, retroactively, you might say Kalel Ware probably belonged in that conversation. This was a decent draft. This was a decent draft for depth. And I certainly think that Jacoby has some really interesting tools to pull forward together, especially if he gets a lot stronger, which I'm positive and I'm confirmed that he will. He will get a lot stronger. So I just think, this guy's got a really special future in the NBA. And for him to hit this kind of shot, like, he's just so excited, and all his teammates are so excited for him. Like, this is the type of shot that you can build on. You know what I mean? Like, these are signature moments. How many Morris Peterson, type of players have we seen have these types of moments? Now, this should get this should be a GIF. Okay. This should go viral. This is Scotty Barnes talking to his former teammate, Caleb Houston, and Caleb Houston doing that thing that NBA players like to do, which is they cover their mouths so nobody can demi more them, and read their lips and see what they're actually saying. But I can tell you 100% what he's saying, which is, why were you not in the game? What happened with you? Why are you not in the game? Why are you not closing the game? And look at Scotty's response. I'm gonna slow this down because this was underrated as hell. Look at this. This is Scotty's response. Okay, let's watch that again. Nope. Can you caption that? When this video goes live, I need y'all to caption this reaction. I ain't I I don't know. I don't know. And I wish that the camera would have stayed on him, because I guarantee you he was probably going to say something real funny. Oh man, what a game. What a game. Okay, as promised, I'm gonna talk about Pendance at the end, but first we got some callers. If you would like to call in, the call in link is in the description below. And we got this question here from Stephen MC. What is the best way to get a hold of you? Email pensarefilms@gmail.com. You can email me pensarefilms@gmail.com. It's PENSARE films FILMS @gmail.com. It's the same email that we use for the e-transfer, is the same email you can email me at, and I'm usually pretty good about getting back to you. All right. And Jigsaw Puzzles saying, welcome back from Pendance. By the way, I started this. Thank you very much. Appreciate you and appreciate this community for all your support. Okay. That's a good one. Okay, let's bring on our first caller. LOL UIN. LOL UIN, what's up? You are muted. Hello. Bueller. Okay, we're gonna pull LOL UIN off. If anyone else would like to call in, please do call in. I don't think it's a troll. I think it's just someone who got tired of waiting and probably just left their computer for a bit. LOL UIN, you're still in the queue. Just show me that you're ready to talk when you unmute yourself, and I'll be able to see that. Huh. Weird. Just take a look here. One sec. Pull up the. Okay. The upcoming schedule for the Raptors is like, crazy. Baba G Cuts saying, where's the link? It is in the description. It's in the description. So it says call in link, and then you click on the link. Pepper Jack saying, Rob, since you missed the game on Sunday, do you know about IQ's takeover in the third? He was great. I heard, and then I watched, and it was really difficult. I feel like I should probably like wait till we talk about the Raptors before I start like introducing like my reflections on the weekend. There's a lot to take away and a lot to learn. But what I can say is all the time that I thought I was going to have, I didn't have any of it. Like I didn't have a minute. Like I didn't know how to breathe. Like every minute of every day was booked. Everything. It was like trying to drive 3 cars at once. You know what I mean? Like on the move and then jumping from one to the other and trying to keep them straight on the road. It was crazy. It was very ambitious, and you know, it was tough. And every moment that I wanted to like just go check out what the Raptors were doing, I realized I'm just going to be very surface about it. I'm going to watch highlights. So I did record the games. Luckily, I get a chance now to go watch them. But you think the festival's over because the dates are over. It's not over. There's thank you emails that have to be sent out. There's pictures that have to be posted, videos that have to be posted. And frankly, it is a oh, that's creepy. Apparently, I'm calling in. Someone's calling with my name. Turn on your camera. You're not coming on. Good try. That's always creepy. Trying to troll me with my own name. That's nice. From the future. No, it was just like I literally just saw my name pop up in the call queue, and I'm like, what the hell? That's weird. It could be me from the future calling in, trying to save the world. And like, hey, remember this day? This is the day that the Raptors cost themselves Cooper Flag. Go back and try to do something. And it's like, well, we're already playing AJ Lawson, man. Like, there's really not a lot you can do there. We got Josh calling in. Okay, Josh, unmute yourself. Okay, what's up, Josh?
How's it going, man?
How's it good? It's good. What's up?
So, I mean, based off recent play and everything, I've just been thinking a lot about the guard position at the 1 and the 2 for the future. I mean, we have RJ, who's based off reports more so now, it seems like he's going to get moved. But also, I feel like even for Grady and Jacoby, I just can't see both of them or even either of them on the bench perpetually in the long term. So I just don't know where this leaves us.
What has Grady done to suggest to you that he is a definitive starter in the NBA going forward? Not right now, just going forward.
It's tough to say anything specific, to be honest. I really like his game. I like the fact that he stretches the floor and he helps out Scotty in that regard.
No, I agree with you. But I mean, things like that can be said about players who traditionally come off the bench, right?
That's fair. You think he would probably come off the bench then for at least for the foreseeable future?
I think both Jacoby and Grady fill a great role as a sixth man. I think they're both, I don't want to say positionless, but they can fill multiple positions, right? At least at the 2 and 3. And because of that, because they can do that, and because they kind of fit in, they're very portable players. Like they can kind of fit into different lineups. I do think that they will have that opportunity. I also think they can play together a lot. I don't think they get in each other's way. I think Jacoby's a very different breed, than Grady is a downhill attacker, and I think they'll play really well off each other. I think if you told me like you had like a generational center prospect and a great point guard, I would be really happy with Jacoby Walter and Grady Dick as a 2-3 on my team going forward, like as a young core. Provided that four man was like Cooper Flag or something. Like I think they'd be like great as like that type of, you know, tandem. But I do agree with the RJ thing. Like it's tough to see how, especially if you go wing in the draft, how he continues to play the minutes that he's going to play, especially with Bi coming in. Like, RJ's value is somewhat diminished when he doesn't get like the shots. But kudos to him. He's been defending better. He's been playmaking better. So I think RJ can fit too. I don't know. I think the Raptors have a chance to be pretty deep next year.
And that's the thing. Like I've been thinking about RJ trades. Just recent reports make me feel he's basically 100% getting moved. I'd like to see him stay if we can somehow make it work. But if we
Sure.
move him, I don't even know what we move him for.
I think it's probably a big, ideally, a big to back up Jakob Pertl, a big to hopefully help you play a little bit bigger. I think that would be it. But I'm also perfectly happy with us not trading. Okay, this is getting so creepy. There's like literally a person calling in with my face as their avatar.
Is
Yo,
there any
this
way
is
to block
and
them?
my name. That's so creepy. Yeah. Anyways, weird. Okay. Yeah, as you were saying.
I mean, is there like I like the big idea. I just have a feeling we're gonna somehow land at like the fifth to seventh spot in the draft and end up drafting uh Khanman. I don't know how to pronounce his name properly. Um,
Come on, Malawach.
yes, him. Um, I just kind of see that happening, but I don't know. Like, is there a big you think would work well for us that works in an RJ trade?
I mean, it takes two to tango, which means the Nets would have to be interested, but how would you feel about Nick Claxton?
Honestly, I don't know much about him. I've heard like lots of rumors about it, the trade deadline and stuff, but I haven't looked into anything much about him.
I think the Raptors have been at least interested in him vaguely. The contracts do match up. You can look at guys like Nick Claxton, Cam Johnson, players of that sort who just sort of balance out your roster a little bit better by adding maybe a little bit more of a different dimension to what you need around a Scotty and an Ingram than RJ Barrett. I would, however, before pulling the plug on RJ Barrett, who is the younger player in all those situations and homegrown talent and Canadian and potentially still getting a lot better, I would like to see how it looks for a few games, which actually brings me to my next point, which is if the Raptors do accidentally stumble into the play-in, I think we'll have a chance to see how RJ fits, in a winning environment. I kind of get short-winded trying to explain to people how difficult it is to evaluate players when the context of their round is losing. Right? It's not necessarily me saying something negative about the players on this team. It's just the context of the players on this team. Like everyone is young, the lineup's not optimal. So it's like, it's like very difficult to imagine like, okay, what if we were doing what every other playoff team is doing and we're just trying to rack up wins? Like, what would that look like? How differently would these lineups be structured? How much of a different effort might we see offensively from certain players? So, yeah.
It was crazy. Like you could really see it at the end of the game. I was just with the lineup in the past like 4 minutes, I think it was. I don't think Scotty or IQ was in for the last 4 minutes of the game. It was just baffling to see, even when the Magic were going on a run.
Mhm.
I mean, personally, I really want us to keep RJ. I don't know how it's going to work. What would you want to see from RJ for him to stay and be worth the money and make everything fit?
Defense. Defense for sure. I would wanna
Yeah.
see him, like, be really locked in defensively. I would like to see him become a better shooter, three-point shooter. I think if he can do those 2 things, like, basically be adaptable, a 3 and D guy who can occasionally also be able to, carry a second unit and play make a little bit, step in. You never know when you have an injury, right? You never know when an Emmanuel quickly goes out and a Scotty Barnes goes out, and suddenly you need Brandon Ingram to have a second option, right? Or what if Brandon Ingram misses extended time and then you need RJ Barrett to just be exactly where he is? You know what I mean? Like, that's just tough. It's really tough. Yeah. Anyways, any final thoughts?
Uh, no, that's pretty much it for me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, Josh. Thanks for calling in.
See you, man.
Yep. Okay. Are we entertaining trolls today? Let's see. What's up? Who are you? You gonna say something? What's up? We just playing old videos? What's up? Go fuck yourself. Anyways, Lo Lewin, what's up?
Wagwan.
What's up? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
What's up?
Dude, that was like one of the first of all, that troll was funny actually. But
Was
anyway,
was it funny? Just putting a freeze
it was
frame
just
of my face and my
it was
name?
just it was just so random. Like what was what was that?
I have no idea.
It's probably a kid. But bro, I've never seen tanking that blatant like what I saw tonight.
Agreed.
I was on Chilltown show. I was telling him about it. But man, like to be up 5-6, whatever we were with 2 minutes to go, to take RJ out, Scotty, Pirtle's already out, IQ's out. Like this is embarrassing for Orlando. Like they should be embarrassed, dude. We had we had G leaguers there, we had two-way contract players. Like that was insane. And of course it does hurt us. But I'm not one of those pro tankers that's like, okay, like we need to lose every game. The like tanking is a very nuanced subject to me. I think it's more like you have to view it as player development, not just a loss in the column.
Hmm.
And that shot, that Jacoby actually in the post game said this was his first game winner ever. Like these are important. These are important plays. He's gonna develop from this. Of course, it hurts in the loss column. I really wanted the loss, but look,
Yeah,
you tank to get prospects like Jacoby. You tank to get good young prospects, and look, he hit a game winner. So I can't hate it.
I agree with you. Okay. These are the next handful of games. Which of these games, I'm just gonna go down the list. Which of these games is okay? What the fuck is going on here?
What happened?
What? Okay, wow.
Talking about Jameson Battle?
No, I'm talking about another caller with another name, and it's a friend of mine's name, and I don't think it's this person. But I'm like, now I'm like, how is this person picking up on these names? Like, are they deliberately trying to troll me? Like,
Yeah, that's hella weird. Y'all gotta knock it off, man.
that's fucked up. Dragon, if that's actually you, perchance somehow in the world of freak accidents, and you've discovered that we have a YouTube channel, just turn your camera on, see your face. But yeah, she's gone. Okay, bullshit, fucking assholes. Okay, going through this.
Y'all hella weird, man.
Hella weird as hell, man. Like, what is this person trying to do? Oh, I stalked you on Facebook. I looked at your friends. Go fuck yourself, man. You're not clever. Okay, Utah. Like, I'm just gonna say, is it a win or a loss? And I'm gonna see how many, if we can get to 5 wins. Okay, sorry, if we can get to 5 losses. Utah, win or loss?
Win.
Washington.
Win.
Philly.
I'll say win.
Utah.
Win.
Portland.
Loss.
Okay, there's one. Okay, need that one. Okay. Phoenix.
Loss.
You think so? I think it's going to be a win personally, but okay. Oh, right. Win, loss. Right. Correct. Okay, that's 2. So you think we're going to lose?
Phoenix is beating us.
I don't think they're going to beat us. Okay, cool. Okay, so you got 2. Golden State. That's 3.
Easy. Loss.
Okay. San Antonio.
I'll go loss on this one.
Okay. All right. San Antonio. Washington.
Win.
Brooklyn.
Up in the air, but loss.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Charlotte.
Win.
Philly. At Philly.
I think we split the series.
So
So we win. We lose this one. First one we win. Second one in Philly we lose.
Okay. So we got 6. Chicago.
Lose.
So we're losing again. Okay, that's 7. So that's 7 losses. Portland.
Lose. They're
Another
balling right
loss.
now, man.
Okay, that's 8. Detroit. Loss.
Lose. Kate is all NBA this year.
Okay, that's 9. Brooklyn.
Lose.
You got us losing back to back against Brooklyn?
I do.
And you're very hopeful. So that's 10 losses. Okay. Charlotte.
We beat Charlotte.
Okay. So that's 10. We still have 10. Dallas. April 11th.
Man, they just
Anthony
lost
Davis.
Kyrie. It's April 11th. AD's probably back.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say we lose this one.
Okay, and then San Antonio.
We lose that one as well. And here's the thing, like after tonight,
so that's 12 losses.
Yeah, and we're gonna lose. Like we're gonna go for the losses now. After tonight, like it's unethical tanking from here on out.
Oh, so you okay. So you think
I'm also factoring that in. I'm giving us like a greater, like I say that's affecting our losses by 20 to 30%. Is just going full unethical. So maybe Philly we would beat them, but I think we lose one of them, just based off the strength of our unethical tank.
Interesting.
I'm scared though, because a lot of these are up in the air. Like we
dude,
could.
I think you're being
we could
very
beat Philly.
ambitious. I think you're being very ambitious. I think honestly, I'm gonna go through it myself. I'm just gonna predict it. Okay, we win Utah, win Washington, win Philly, win Utah. I think we lose Portland. I think we win in Phoenix, lose against Golden State, and then I think we win every single game for the rest of the season, or something close to it. Like maybe 1 loss in that field. I feel like this team is just look. Here's the thing. Okay, honestly, whoever just keeps calling in with these different names, go fuck yourself. Seriously, go fuck yourself. Literally, just picking up like every single person.
Y'all gotta knock it off, man.
every single person who's involved with Pendance and just put in their name and thinking, I'm going to let you on. Like, what do you think you are? You think you're slick? My Facebook profile is open. I'm a public figure on Facebook. I'm not impressed. Like, literally, like, I'm not impressed. Okay. It's hella weird. It's hella weird. Like, you're giving me real stalker energy, but like, you're not clever. Okay. That's what I'm tell you. You're not clever. Okay. Yeah. I mean, overall, I'm just, I don't see. Okay, you remember We the North, how the Raptors, Masai Ujiri and everyone, they were trying to lose, and they made it very, very obvious they were trying to lose. And DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry just said, okay, if that's what's up, we're just going to win.
Yep.
Same thing. I think it's the same thing that's about to happen. I think this team looks at, Brandon Ingram is right there. I think they have a belief internally. I think they're just kind of like, and honestly, there's no pressure right now. You know what I mean? Like, they're playing free. They're playing free as hell. Like, there was like some LED courts or some shit like they were doing with Orlando, like in Orlando. Like, they really just, they feel like a team that is just playing with house money right now. They have nothing to lose. It's a really dangerous thing. Like, they have really miscalculated this, and it's hilarious to me that they did not learn from their mistakes. Like, when they traded Rudy Gay, they did it to bottom out. Right now, they're holding out Brandon Ingram, and they think they're trying to bottom out. Honestly, I got a hot take. If you play Brandon Ingram right now, you'll lose these games. He's rusty. He takes a ton of shots. He completely disrupts your offense for at least the first little bit that he's going to be on the court. He's probably going to be really sluggish defensively. It's going to be a really difficult piece to integrate. Like, you'll lose these games with Brandon Ingram. You know what I mean? Like, but right now, you're going to probably win them with Jacoby Walter and Jamal Shed. It's so stupid to say that, like, in your head. Like, it's just, teams have, like, okay, so in theory, you would think that losing a game where RJ Barrett and Scotty Barnes are on the floor and Emmanuel Quickly's on the floor and Jakob is on the floor in the fourth quarter, you'd imagine that'd be hard. However, that's actually something that the Orlando Magic have scouted. The Orlando Magic have no idea who AJ Lawson is. They don't know. They haven't scouted him. They don't really know his tendencies. They don't know how he fits in with these units. And so you're really just like throwing a smorgasbord against the wall, and you're just confusing the shit out of teams. They don't understand what they're playing against. And that element of surprise, I think, is actually helping the Raptors win. Is also, you're playing these guys who are young and very hungry. They're very hungry to prove themselves. Jacoby is very hungry. Jamal is very hungry. Like, all these guys, Orlando Robinson, they're super hungry. So it's like the Raptors have had two situations like this in the past. One was that epic run they went on with Antonio Davis and Morris Peterson, which culminated in going to the playoffs against the Detroit Pistons, in which, game 5, Chris Childs loses his fucking mind and takes a shot from half court because he can't count. Okay, that's one. The Raptors, that was a miracle. They were supposed to tank. Vince Carter was out for the season. He opted for season-ending surgery, and it was supposed to be over. But without Vince, they became better somehow. The Rudy Gay trade was the second time this happened in Raptors history, where once again, they thought they were trying to lose. They were 6-12. They were trying to lose, and then boom, it just backfired, and you end up with 47 wins, right? I think this is about to be the third time this is going to happen. I don't know how you lose these games. I really don't. Like, you could say Detroit's supposed to be a loss. I'm telling you, at that point, I don't think Detroit's going to have a hell of a lot to play for. So it's like, you're the hungrier team. And I mean, like, the math is the math on this, right? Like, how far out are you from the play-in right now? Like, the number is clear to me, but it's also clear to the players, right? Like, right now, where are you? You are okay, this is absurd to say. The Chicago Bulls are 24-38. They have the 10th spot. The Raptors are 20-42. And I'm telling you, I think the Raptors can beat Miami, Orlando, and Atlanta. I think they can beat shit. I'm pretty sure this team internally probably feels they can beat Detroit and Indiana too. So with Brandon Ingram, am I crazy to say the Raptors could be the 5th best team in the Eastern Conference right now? Is that totally crazy?
I think you're crazy. In a 7-game series with a healthy Cole Anthony, I'm just talking to Orlando right now, with the healthy Cole Anthony, like, you're not winning. Jalen Suggs back. You're not beating that team.
But is Jalen Suggs going to be back?
Well, we're assuming here, right? We still have 2 months left. Month and a half.
Month and a half. Okay. What about Atlanta?
Are we talking 7-game series or play in 1 game?
We're talking play in 1 game. I don't give the Raptors a chance in hell in the first round. They're going to go up against either Cleveland or Boston. So
okay, yeah. If it's 1 game, then of course, yeah, we could win.
There we go.
But the play-in is a fluke though. Like it's just 1 game. Any team can win 1 game.
Springer said Suggs was announced out for the season today, so we can squash healthy Suggs out of the equation. And Chicago is ass, and Chicago is going to lose that slot. The only Chicago is going to free fall, right? So it's really at this point, it's like which of these 4 teams is going to assume the ceremonious, 10th spot, and then will Atlanta have a chance to beat that team? Now, obviously, if the Raptors do end up at 10th, which is pretty much, I think, the best they can do. That's the weirdest thing about this. Is I don't think they can really catch Atlanta unless Atlanta completely free falls and tanks. So they would have to win 2 games on the road, at which point losing the first game would bounce them right back into the lottery, at which point they would assume their natural position in the lottery as the 9th pick. So you'd end up with 9th. Now, same place that the Atlanta Hawks were in last year when they lucked out and got Zachary Risache, if that makes anyone feel better at all. But yeah, that's pretty much, I think that's pretty much what the Raptors are doing, because right now I look at the Raptors schedule, I look at the Bulls schedule. Bulls schedule is way harder. Philly is clearly committed to the tank. They got massive, vibes and chemistry issues. You got Brooklyn Nets, they got issues. I'm sorry. I don't see the Raptors beating these teams in terms of the tank. Just can't.
So you see us falling?
Pardon?
You see us falling down to 10th pick overall?
I see us probably at 9th or 10th, yeah. Or the playoffs. Which is pretty cool, because if you think about it, like what are the Raptors known for under Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster? They love to sit in the middle, right? They love to sit in the middle. They love to open their options. Well, now you have an actual option. Win 2 games, go to the playoffs, lose one of those 2 games, and end up with a lottery pick, which is not the worst lottery pick. 9th overall. It's not the worst. You know what I mean? But the teams in the West that will clearly be better than the Raptors are probably the Portland Trailblazers, which, double sucks for the Raptors since they have their they have their 2nd round pick. Probably San Antonio. We don't know. Definitely Phoenix. Definitely Dallas. Definitely Sacramento. So it's like that's 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. So that puts you down to at least 9, right? 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. So that puts you down to 10. So if San Antonio finishes ahead of you, that's 9. And if one more of these teams, let's just say Atlanta is the team that gets knocked out, or Chicago gets knocked out, or one of those teams, let's just say one of those teams could also push you down to 8th. So you'll probably finish 9th or 8th. That's my bet. I would say the Raptors probably finish 9th or 8th.
That's horrendous. That's a nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly could be. Yeah. Anyways, any final thoughts?
No, just love the work that you do, man. I'm glad you're back. Looking forward to all the draft content. And yeah, keep up all the great work here on the panel. Thank you for keeping us entertained, man. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Peace. Sigsaw Puzzle, what's up?
Hey, Rob, how are you doing?
I'm good. Slowly recovering.
Were you actually still working on Pendance before this call live?
Yes.
Wow.
We're still working on it. So there's pictures, there's videos that need to be released. There's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
I saw the invite, but I just couldn't go because of I had a couple of shifts this weekend, so unfortunately,
Appreciate it.
I was unable to go. I did want to go though. I would like to see that film about Minnesota basketball. That one would have been nice to see.
It was really great, yeah.
But did you watch the games before tonight? I actually kind of.
I haven't watched I haven't watched them all. I gleaned highlights.
You're gonna watch them later or something?
I will.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a neurotic tendency. I have to watch all the films. yeah, I'm gonna flash pictures on while you talk. But yeah, these are just pictures from Pendance. But yeah,
Okay, that's cool. So talking about the tanking bit, I feel like we could actually win like 35 games in total.
Mhm.
But that would put us in the play-in picture. Now I don't know. The problem is how are we gonna close the lineups going forward without what
how are
we
we gonna
said?
what?
How are we gonna close the games, right? Because if we're closing with these kind of lineups as we did today, I don't think we're gonna win every game like that.
I mean,
That's
again, like
yeah.
let's not underestimate
okay.
playing free, right? Like there's
True. Yeah,
like
we could just not like play the lineups going forward, and then we start winning games again. I mean, like harder than today, because the games are really easy. Like I was looking at, I was also looking at Miami's schedule. They actually have a pretty easy one as well. So we're not gonna catch Miami or Atlanta, but we should climb over Chicago. And what's the other team? Shoot. Sorry, I'm like forgetting the standings now. Chicago and Orlando. I think we might actually catch Orlando
Mhm.
in the play-in scenario. There's a good
Right.
possibility. Now, do we win that game? That's the question.
Against Orlando without Jalen Suggs. This is a team that just really does not know how to score. Like I don't really know how to say it.
Today
Like,
was
I
horrific.
mean, it's just tough, right? Like the box score numbers aside, like what people see with Paolo and
Like they don't get good looks. They don't get good looks. Even with Paolo, like if Paolo is double, he's making a very obvious pass and it's getting intercepted a lot of times. Like I think
Right.
his playmaking chops are not very good, so that's
Mhm.
why like it's really one-dimensional, you could say, to an extent.
Facts.
So that's why it's gonna
Completely
be. We might have an upper hand if like Jalen Suggs is actually out for the whole year.
might have an upper hand of what?
If Jalen Suggs is actually out for the whole year,
Sure.
and you guys are saying, from what I'm hearing, it is the sound yes that Jalen Suggs is out. So yeah, I think Orlando. If we meet Orlando, we still have to win one more game, which is the tougher one, either Hawks or Miami.
Right.
But I don't think Detroit is dropping with what's remaining in their schedule. And like they've been on a heater, like that's the thing. I don't think Detroit's dropping from 6 right now. So like if we meet Miami, I don't think we actually win. But Atlanta, on the other hand, if we meet Atlanta on the second game, we might be able to win that one. That's what I think. But I don't know. I mean, it's a one game. Anyone goes on a heater and it's just over, right? That's what happened on the time that we met Chicago with
Honestly,
DeMar.
I wish I wish we could just be happy that we're winning games. I know we're not happy we're
We're
winning
too
games.
used to tanking. Like the last 3 years, we've been tanking so much, right? So it's kind of like a lot of people are really used to that now, like the loser mentality and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think and everyone just wants flag, but I don't think it's like guaranteed. Even if we were to finish like bottom 3, right? I don't know, bottom 3 in the East. Then there's also like the fact that the West is also worse records, right? We'd be bottom 5, so it's not guaranteed either way.
Right.
But it's not flag or bust, so people should be more positive about the like whether we're winning or not, because like there's a lot of good young prospects that we could work with, and we already have Shamshay that's being developed, despite like his injury. Like he I think he would have gone like a top 5 maybe next year, like in this year's draft. If he went to college, maybe
this year's draft.
Yeah,
you think Shamshay would be a top 5 pick?
I think with like with his build, that is. I don't know how much like maybe he actually doesn't do well in college, like college basketball, and then he actually does drop a lot. But
I think he would be a fringe first round pick in this year's draft. He's still really, really raw, but I love him.
That's fair.
And last year's draft is supposed to be weak, and it's value. It's value for sure. And I hope he recovers really well. And he's walking around, like we see him on the bench. It's not like he's in crutches. He's not in a walking boot. So
that's good.
Hopefully he'll be back for summer league. It wasn't like there was a lot of, oh, by the way, this was our closing gala. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really fun. We watched, we had a lot of people there, watched the Oscars. It was really fun. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Oscars was this. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of stopped caring with the Oscars lately. But yeah, okay, that's good. That's
hey,
awesome.
man, Sean Baker won, man. That was great. It was a great film. But yeah, it was just lovely. Like it was a lot of energy, a lot of good people. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I just like I'm inclined to say that I'm willing to roll with it. Like no matter what happens, I'm just willing to roll with it still. It
Right.
does suck because it's very obvious that, you know, Toronto is there's me. If people thought that I was good, I'm the funniest person ever. Do you notice that I am still wearing the goddamn hoodie?
Oh yeah, you are. The Puma hat.
I'm still wearing the Puma hat and the hoodie at a closing gala where the dress code was cocktail attire.
I remember you
I
last
am
year.
hilarious.
You
Huh?
weren't informally. I don't think you were formal last year when I went to Pendance last year.
No, I'm just not.
You weren't wearing formal gear or like attire, basically. It was the same fit as this, I think, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. No, I just I mean, it's kind of like the perks of running a film festival. You wear what the fuck you want. And I mean, I don't know. Next year, my goal is very different. My next year goal is.
Oh, you weren't wearing your hat. I remember.
Last year I was not wearing my hat. This year I decided to all the PC trolls who are always like, why is he always wearing a Puma hat? And I was like, oh, I'll do you one better. I'll do it at a gala. I'll do it at a closing gala where everyone is like dressed to the dines and everyone's trying to look their best. I'm just like in my hoodie presenting awards, you know. I don't know. I almost wore shorts. I almost did. I was just like, yo, don't calibrate. Don't be that much of an asshole. But yes, so they got me in pants. I'm like, okay, we won a little bit. Okay, we got pants, we got nice shoes, but a hoodie
kind of
and
cold
the
too.
basketball.
Weekend.
It was a little bit cold, yeah, for sure.
Sunday was really bad. Sunday was like really wind chills were like -20 or something, if I recall correctly. So
yeah, at least we didn't get the snowstorm, man.
Yeah,
like that would have been a hell of a lot worse.
Yep.
But yeah. Yeah.
So
anyways, man, any final thoughts?
No, I don't think I have any. I watched like the second half of the game, but most of the second half. I didn't watch the first half, but it was interesting to see like our G League guys like, you know, flounder. No, I forgot the term, but they played well together. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for Jacoby's growth next year. How he comes back next year, like in the summer league and whatnot. So it'll be exciting times. And I hope we actually do make the play in. Yes.
I mean, it would be an epic summer if we, like, imagine if we make the play-in. No, if we make the play-in and we lose heartbreakingly. Okay, here's like an ideal, like how I wish it goes down. I hope that we make the play-in, win the first game, lose the second game by like 1 point. Okay, so it's like a real big morale boost. End up with like the 8th pick. Somehow, I don't know how, but end up with the 8th best shot, and then move into the top 3, and then Ulrich comes back for the summer with that top 3 pick, and we get Jacoby in summer league, and it's just like we slay for the rest of the year. That would be great.
That'd be great. Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, that's it. I got nothing else to say.
All right, man. Peace. Talk to you later. Okay. Y'all want to go to the post games? Good with the post games? Let's do it. Oh man. It is good to be back. I need to adjust my lighting. I was using one of the lights for Pendance, so I gotta fix that, figure that out. But I mean, shoot. I wonder how they answered this one. Darko looks like he has a grin on his face. Let's go to the post game. That's gonna be fun. I'm genuinely curious. This game was stress. This game was stressful. Franz is a dirty player. That's not my read on him at all, but okay.
Yeah, he was supposed to be a little bit more open for catch and shoot, but proud of him how he managed to get himself to the spot and to knock it down.
I think we talked before. You're hoping to put young guys in tough situations. Well, how do you think they handle it?
I think that this is what we talked about as us as organization is very important to really for the young guys to be in those situations so they can learn. So there is no better school than this for them to be on the court and then play on a close games and to go through all of that. I thought they handled it well. I think they executed down the stretch really well, especially on offensive end with plays that we drew in a timeout. I thought that they did really good.
What have you seen from him, Jacoby, this year to kind of trust him in that situation, the confidence that you have for him to take that shot?
And he's 19 years old. If you would see that kid, the way he's put it in every single day, the amount of work and dedication and how he's committed to this team, it's that gives me confidence to believe in him and to put him in that situation there.
Do you think that games like this your group needs, just like with the attitudes on the floor, the aggressiveness, just how into it guys were, like those are sort of the morale boosters? Do you think at this point, especially for the guys that are developing, they need these kinds of games?
Absolutely. I think those type of games and energy that guys have and chemistry and everybody cheering for each other, that speaks a volume about the culture that our team has.
How do you approach it with some of your veteran players? I have two questions. One, look at RJ, he was kind of out there kind of holding that group together. And it was a very physical game all the way. What did you think the competitiveness from, how did RJ manage that fourth quarter, just the competitiveness?
I'll tell you what, like RJ ended this game with 21 points, with 9 assists, with 8 rebounds, and with 10 deflections. I thought that his physicality, that rebounding, he's not shying away from any challenge that you put in front of him. He's going to switch and guard point guards. He did a great job on Banchero in big stretches of the game there. So I really like what he did there for us.
And then off of that, I mean, RJ came out of the game with a couple of minutes left. Scotty didn't go back in. How are some of your more experienced players?
Excuse me. Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Sorry. How are some of your more experienced players handling not being in situations where they normally would?
I mean, those are teammates of theirs on the court, and guys that are putting a lot of in every single day. So I think they handled it really well. They were cheering for them. They were looking for those guys to have that experience to close the game like that. And I think everybody wins today with that attitude that we had.
Coach, what did you make of AJ Lawson today?
AJ Lawson, he stepped in. I think that he did really good job. Kudos to our 905 program that he played with them a whole year, and I think that he was not afraid of the moment. I think that he did really good job defensively, coming up with a couple of deflections and aggressive defense. I thought that he did a great job today.
Coach RJ Barrett grew up there, played high school here briefly at Montbert, and is able to come home and live his dream. Talk a little bit about his leadership and just what he's willing this team to victories.
I mean, RJ is the guy that takes a lot of pride in, first of all, in basketball and what he does and how he contributes his team and winning. And then he takes a lot of pride in playing for Toronto Raptors and then being back home, playing in his home city and in his country. And I just see him growing every week and month to month. He's continuing to put a lot of work in, and he's really open to coaching and new experiences and like trying to elevate his game to the next level. So it's special to have a guy like that on a team that takes so much pride in playing for Toronto Raptors.
Sorry, can you explain how I've been hacked, or if I've been hacked, or what's going on here? That's kind of, with everything that's been happening today with the Collins, that's a freaky thing. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, but give me one sec here. Usually these videos just play in succession. Right now they're not, so give me one sec here. You will hear from Jacoby Walter at the end, but yeah. Oh man. I also got a very, very nice gift from She-Wolf. Really cool. She gave me Fisherman's Friend because I consistently have a sore throat, And I got to tell you, I took a Fisherman's Friend. This is not a promo for Fisherman's Friend, but I took a promo before. I took a promo. I took a Fisherman's Friend before this podcast, and my voice has been a lot better.
What does it say that this team kind of squeezed out 2 wins in that environment?
We knew tonight was going to be a tougher game. When you beat a team, especially you beat them at their home, now you come back. It's kind of like a mini playoff series, and I think the guys responded in an amazing way.
Okay, I need clarification on this. Can someone explain to me what you're talking about? What login information? Huh?
Played hard. We were down a lot of the game, would tie it up and go back down, stuff like that. But we stayed together. We fought, and I think it's a great win. Everybody that went out there contributed and played well for us. So that was amazing basketball.
You had that stretch down the fourth quarter. It was you with basically the 4 young guys, if you want to call it that. And, what did you feel like your response was in that point of the game?
Just keep a level head. Talk to the guys. Talk to them. Still confidence in them because we know we could do it. And as long as we guard, we always have a chance. It was funny because right before we came out of a timeout, I don't know if we were up one or whatever. Came out of the timeout. I told the guys, I said, look, when you get your shots, be ready to shoot them. You're gonna knock them down. And then AJ started going crazy. So it was cool because I've known AJ for such a long time. I've been playing with him since I was a little kid. So it was really fun to play with him and see him play good.
What strides have you seen from your own team and 1 through 12 or wherever when it comes to closing out games, like just down the stretch from the beginning of the season to where you guys are at now?
We've been up in some games and have lost. So to see now being able to close these games out in the fourth quarter is huge. I got 2 good wins here because we play so hard, throughout the game. At the end, when it matters the most, you got to be able to close it out.
What have you seen from Jacoby this season? Obviously, to have the confidence of the team to be put in that situation, to hit the shot, on the line. Just what have you guys seen from him and the work that he's put in?
We love Cole, man. He's youngest guy. Him and Ulrich, youngest guys on the team, and just he plays hard. He plays great defense. He's figuring out how to navigate these screens and get around them and get back in front of people without fouling. And then on offense, just continuing to do what he does. He's cutting, he's knocking shots down. He's all over the court for us. So it was good to see him have that moment.
RJ, you talk about just how together you guys feel right now. I'm wondering for yourself personally, when you think back to your career, how good does that feel personally for yourself to just be a part of something that feels so cohesive and close?
I told the guys, I said, this was one of the most fun basketball games, I've played in a long time, just because everybody played hard, everybody played together. We all cheered for each other's success. So that it's great when from top to bottom, from the coaching staff, everybody's, we're all in for the same goal. It feels good.
RJ, you played high school here. You're able to go home.
This
Play
guy.
for Toronto. Just talk a little bit about being back, getting a dub, and wearing Raptors across your chest.
Got a lot of people out there, some teachers, some old coaches, everybody coming back and supporting. My family made the trip, so I got a lot of people here, and I love playing here every time.
Really interesting. Okay. Can't wait to hear what Jacoby had to say. Big shout out to Jacoby, man. Everyone was really happy for him. Really happy for him. You know what? You could feel it. Because these dudes, they spend a lot of time together, right? There's certain guys where you feel it. Everyone's pulling for that dude. I feel like everyone is pulling for this dude. Daryl is offering his services. That's funny.
How much fun was that?
That was
probably really my first game winner in my life. So I'm definitely gonna remember that one. That was tough.
Maybe just take us through how you had to get the ball, what you saw, and what you were thinking.
Yeah, so going into the timeout, I was already kind of just picturing it in my mind, honestly. Hit my first game winner. Coach drew up the play for me, and no matter what, I was going to try to get open. I know we was only down by 2, but I was just going to go for the win. I shot it. I was trying to get a foul as well.
That's funny.
Cash.
And, I mean, that group that was on the floor the last few minutes, you, AJ, Jared, Rob, and I mean, AJ hits a huge shot at the timeout. Just maybe what kind of energy do you guys have on the floor with that group?
Yeah, we know we the young guys. We're the younger guys. We ain't really been in that situation all together, but we know we have to execute down the stretch. Like you said, AJ, that shot he hit was huge for us. Kind of definitely gave us momentum and kind of stopped their momentum as well. Jamal, being the point guard, he was handling the rock. We was rebounding. It really just all came down to stops for us. And that's what we was talking about with each other.
And what was the reaction of some of the vets?
It was they hilarious. That's what I can say. They all ran, of course, congratulated me, saying whatever they had to say. But definitely a cool experience, having all the vets cheer me on like that.
What's it like to be entrusted with the lineup that was in the final possession with yourself and some of the younger guys that have also just had a lot of 905 experience as well?
Yeah. I mean, that's just something you always think about coming into the league, being in this type situation, last shot. So just being in the position that I was, knowing that I was actually going to get to play too, it was just really big for me.
Coach said that he's trusted you, your teammates have trusted you based on the work that you put in off the court, things that we don't see behind closed doors. Just give us an idea, like what kind of work have you done to kind of prepare for that moment specifically, especially to step up in that big moment, hit that shot?
I definitely think just mentally, the mental reps as well. Not getting too flustered about anything, staying relaxed. We always preach mental reps as a team, and then just as well, just getting shots up, late clock situations. That's something you work on over the summer too. Last second, got to get a shot up. So, I mean, it's a lot of reps, a lot of hours that go in behind it.
Did you get the game ball afterward?
I did not get the game ball. I didn't even think about the game ball. I wasn't even thinking about it. I should have.
What did you make of just the spirit of that game? I mean, you got put on the floor pretty hard. RJ and Wagner were going at it pretty good. What was the vibe out there?
It's hoops, we all competing. We all want to win at the same time. I know what type of person RJ is when he gets competitive, so I wasn't shocked by any of it. I guess they was trying to take us out of our game, but we're a physical team as well. We like to bump, so I think that kind of fueled us even more. I think we started really attacking, going on a run after that.
What did you see in that 3 that Kobe had over quick?
Just miscommunication on our side, and can't be giving up those look like that.
My bad. So that is from February 28th. My bad. Scotty did not speak to the media today. Okay. I mean, shoot. You can't be upset about wins. You can't be upset about losses. This is a weird season, but I do want to say Raptors got a good player, man. They got a good player. They got a lot of good players. I like over the last 2 games that I've missed, one of the players that's just really stood out to me is Jamal Shed. That's a rookie out there, right? So you take him, you take this Jurassic 5 that I just keep raving about, try to give Nav Bhatia that name, Jurassic 5, in the hopes that he could popularize it for me. You take that all in consideration, you're like really sitting pretty next year. I know a lot of people still feel like this team needs like a franchise savior. I really don't. I really don't feel like they need one. It'd be nice to have one. Certainly had to, stack the deck a little bit. A Cooper Flagg or a Dylan Harper would go a really long way towards, ensuring an even brighter future for Toronto, but it's never going to be guaranteed. And I don't know if we're going to get anyone on the all-rookie team just because of how the minutes have been staggered. There's just too many guys who are playing in losing situations who are just getting way more minutes than these guys. But I feel like if you could have given Jacoby Walter all the opportunities that Bub Carrington got in Washington, I'm pretty sure he could have made a case for like second team all-rookie, first team all-rookie. I'm not trying to gas these players up as something that they're not. They're just they're NBA players. You got 5 NBA players locked in on very, very reasonable rookie contracts. And, none of them are like expensive because none of them are lottery picks. So it's just, this is a fantastic coup for roster building, right? And there's some people out there who think Brandon Ingram is better than Scotty Barnes, at least offensively. Cool, to each their own. They're both Raptors. I don't care if you think that. But BI plus Scotty plus this group plus whoever is supposed to be the 8th or 9th pick in this year's draft, again, being picked by, people do forget some of the best Raptors of all time were not high lottery picks. Yes, the Vince and the Scotties were, but the Kyles, the DeMars, these were not high lottery picks. DeMar was literally 9th pick, right? The Kawhi was a 15th pick. Gasol was a 2nd round pick. So, there's nothing to say you have to get a top 5 pick to find, a future starter at the 5 to replace Jakob Poeltl. You might find that player at 12. So, anyways, you're gonna get a lottery pick more likely than not. Okay, let's just work with knowns, and let's leave the unknown unknowns and the known unknowns. Like, let's just leave those alone. Let's work with the knowns. The Raptors are going to add a top 15 pick to what is already a really young, exciting core. And a top 15 pick, like the 15th overall pick, doesn't make a hell of a lot of money. Might even leave a little bit more room under that luxury tax line that the Raptors are so desperately trying to duck to maybe even add a little bit more. They're also going to get a 40th or top 40 pick probably from the Portland Trailblazers. And that could also it could also yield a serviceable young player. So you get 2 young players to add to a group of already really good young players. And then you try to consolidate, you try to build, and then maybe a year from now, you try to consolidate some of these young pieces, future assets, and then you get your big piece to go all in on whatever you think Scotty BI plus that player can be. You pray for health, right? But, the unfortunate thing right now is because the way the Raptors are building and the way they're building up this culture, I don't think they're going to be bad again for a pretty long time. So you don't get to dip into the lottery in back-to-back years now. It's not like, oh, well, okay, fine. We screwed up this year. We lost our pick last year. We screw up our pick this year. It's okay. We'll get them next time. There is no next time. Unless something goes disastrously wrong, you're not picking in the lottery for the next 4 or 5 years. So, you try to make these ones count. Obviously, you want to go a little bit higher, but it's okay. You're winning with youth. You didn't make some panicky win now Thaddeus Young trade at the deadline. You didn't try to trade for Jakob Poeltl again. In fact, you actually traded away very good, serviceable veterans for a player who hasn't played 1 minute of basketball for you right now, and you're still winning. Okay? Again, I think too many people, the bias that exists here is that we need to hold on to this, right? We need to hold on to this top 5 pick that we apparently have. But it's like, if the season was inverted and you played the beginning of the season at the beginning, if you played the end of this season, like let's just say the entire schedule was flipped. And let's just say instead of having the easiest, and when I say easiest, I hope y'all understand what I mean by that. But let me just show you what I mean by that just to give you a clearer idea of what I mean by how easy the schedule is. This is the average win percentage of teams. Like that's what the Raptors are going to be facing. Their strength of schedule is 8%. They don't just have the easiest schedule. They have the easiest schedule by a larger margin. Okay, let me try to impress this upon you. The gap between the Raptors and the Boston Celtics, who are 30th and 29th, is larger than the gap between Phoenix Suns, who have the hardest schedule remaining, and the San Antonio Spurs, who have the 10th hardest schedule remaining. It is also larger than the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets, who are separated by 14. Shit. It's larger than the San Antonio Spurs and the Washington Wizards, who are separated by 16 slots. So the Raptors don't just have the easiest strength of schedule. They have the easiest strength of schedule by a mile, by miles and miles. It's embarrassing how easy the rest. They have 3 winning teams left. Detroit, Washington, Mavericks. That's it. You might face, sorry, not Washington, Warriors. Pistons, Warriors, Mavericks. You might face the Mavericks without Kyrie and without AD. You might face Golden State on a night where they're resting Steph Curry. I doubt it, but maybe. And you're probably you might face you might face the Pistons on a night where they're resting Cade because they've already locked up their playoff seeding at that point. So, and then on the other end of it, like, you've got a ton of games against these bad teams. Yo, it is going to be so hard to lose 5 more games this season. I'm telling you right now, you lose more than 5 games this season, you've accomplished a miracle, because you're basically going to be playing teams that are worse than you every single night, with 3 exceptions. You're facing teams. I think the Raptors right now are playing 500 basketball since January. They have been the 6th ranked defense in the NBA. Scotty Barnes is, Scotty's my favorite player. He's pretty much fucking up this tank. RJ Barrett is fucking up this tank. And you know what? That's a 23-year-old and a 24-year-old who are fucking up the tank. Maybe we can relax. That's kind of like my take on this. It's just like, maybe we can relax. We're not having, Fred VanVleet betting on himself and Jakob Poeltl spamming pick and roll, and that's fucking up our tank. No, you have a legit 23-year-old all-star who's messing up your tank. I think it's okay. I want to share something really, really cool with you guys. And this is a gift that somebody gave me at Pendance. He's a community member here. He's a moderator here. He asked me initially to keep this anonymous. This was going to be a giveaway for everybody who attended Basketball State, but I want y'all to see this. It's a coaster. Okay. So cool, right? These are handmade. Isn't this amazing? Okay, wait for this one. This one's gonna blow your mind. That was awesome. And I'm going to show you the one that actually made my girlfriend cry. Yeah, that Sparkling said, is that RJ? Yes. Yes, this is RJ Barrett. Of course it's RJ Barrett. Yeah, these are handmade. All right. And I'm going to show you the one that made my girlfriend actually cry. Like, I knew it was going to make her cry. I was like, I don't know if I need to show this to her. We're already stressed out with Pendance. Isn't that crazy? Yo, that's the nicest shit. I think it's like one of the nicest things anyone's ever done for me in my entire life. And I got to tell you, I've had a lot of people do a lot of really, really nice things for me. As like, I was so happy that on Friday when we were at our arcade night that I actually got to, play video games with Jonathan. I've met him, several times. He attended Pendance. He's been a Pendance pass buyer, a few years. And I'm just, every time I meet people from this community, it's not all people, but certain people. No, it's God. It might be all the people, man. It's almost every single person I've ever met from this community has blown me away with just how generous and how kind and how thoughtful and how talented and how interesting they are. I don't think I've ever met anyone from this community that's kind of pushed me back and said, ugh, I don't know. So big shout out to Jonathan for that. I'm very, very touched. I'm glad we got to, have a moment and talk a little bit at that arcade night. I'm glad I got to beat you with Liu Kang. against Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat that really brought me back to my childhood. My dad and I used to play Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, at the arcade, and that was very, very cool. So, yeah. I agree, for sure. Wow. Yes. Anyways, wrapping thoughts on. I do wanna just kind of talk about this now. Just sort of overall, like how exhausted I am right now. We are a few days removed from Pendance. Those thank you emails still haven't gone out, so I need to get on that right now. But some of those pictures need to get out as well. I just want to say that this event was a challenge. I mean, it was a challenge for a million reasons. It was a challenge partially because the subway shut down, it's cold weather, etc. But hey, what's new? This is Pendance. That shit happens. It was also a challenge because it's 71 films. We've never done 71 films before, ever. So some people ask me why. Why would you do that? Right? I thought what we were doing was too easy. Right? How would you rank those Pendants to the past ones? It's up there. I think, I could say it's my favorite. I can say it's my favorite, but it's up there with 2019 and 2024 last year. It's in my top 3 favorite Pendances. I would love to tell you it's a nice, neat arc of it's my favorite Pendance ever, but the truth is, like, what happened at Pendance this year was I was, let me be honest for a second. I've been going downhill for like 4 years in terms of physically. I've just been going downhill. I can see it. I can feel it. I don't want to be seen in pictures, even though I put my face on the internet every single day. I just don't want to be seen in pictures. I don't want people posting with me. I don't want to pose with people. I wouldn't want to be there. Like, I wish I could run Pendance with a bag over my head. I'm not proud of, the effort that I completely put into this year's event, largely because I think a lot of it was last minute. And I think much more work could have been done, should have been done. But the effort the ambition was there, like the ambition to, shatter past records, to do more than we could do. We have a pretty small team, 7 people, right? So shout outs to Cass, shout outs to Maria, shout outs to, Camellia, shout outs to Valentina, Maggie, Tiana, right? Kayla. That's our team. Like, we're a very, very small team. And running multiple events at the same time has always been really, really difficult. We've only ever done it once, which was Pendance 2020, which was the height of my ambition, by the way. 2020, Father Time. Fuck you. No, it's not Father Time. No, it is a toxic environment that I have been, that I've allowed myself to be in for a very, very long period of time. I just don't feel like myself. I told anyone who would listen, I'm running Pendance at 1% battery right now. I feel like a phone that's like, it's like you don't have enough battery power to turn the light on. You just don't right now. It's a socially, like, it's a very energizing event. You're meeting fantastic people. They're very, very talented people, but it's also extremely draining. Like, you need to be everywhere and for everyone all at once. Like, there was this woman, Sharon, and she brought her two sons to basketball state, and I had invited her, and she had been she's a beacon of positivity and light, and she's a wonderful human being, and she wanted to say hi to me, and apparently I was too busy. Apparently someone told her, no, he's too busy, you can't say hi. There's so many people who walked into this event where I couldn't say hi, and the truth is, in years past, Pendance has never really been so big that I couldn't say hi to somebody. It's always been one event at a time. It's like, oh, there's the panel. Oh, there's the film. Then there's the next film. Then there's the next film. So it's like, no matter what you attend, it's like, I can always be there. But it's like when you're running a panel at the same time as you're running a brunch, at the same time you're running a social, at the same time you're running another film, it's like, oh shit, like, I really can't say hi to everybody. And that is, that kind of sucks, right? But that kind of comes with the territory. This was never going to be a single chronological event. It's always going to have to be that overlap. So kind of learning how to do that. And obviously there's an easy way to do things and there's a hard way to do things. And remember myself reciting this several times throughout the event, and so I'll share this with you as well. Is something that really captivated me is what Joe Mazzulla said about Jason Tatum, where they said, he feels the pressure, he feels all this pressure, and he said he gets to feel the pressure. He asked for this. He asked for this. He asked for that pressure. Okay, well, I asked for this pressure, right? I asked to run a film festival. I asked for it to be one of the best film festivals in the world. I asked to do it, as the head honcho. I asked to do it, tough. I asked to do it without favors and without the, typical corporate sponsorship, censorship, package that a lot of festivals go through. I asked to do this the hard way. I don't get to bitch and complain about it because it's hard, because I asked for this. And if I want it to be easy, it's really easy to run to run a bad film festival. It's very easy. It's very easy. It's so easy, to run a film festival where nobody comes, where the films are not good. That's easy. To run a film festival where consistently every single year people are leaving in tears because the films move them. Like, to me, the best part about Pendance was the people coming out of the screening with tears in their eyes saying, this film shattered me, it moved me, it inspired me. People leaving Pendance with knowledge, because we had free workshops and panels for students. I feel like this event probably had a very far-reaching effect that I am not even close to comprehending right now because I'm so tired. But the truth is, almost every single person who came into Pendance left feeling appreciated, very appreciated. I'm very, very thankful to the filmmakers, who chose us. I'm very thankful to the audience members who showed up. And, our closing gala, very generously supported by this amazing brewery called, it's a distillery it's north of Kiel. It's called Nickel 9. They are Canadian. And I feel like that matters right now more than anything in the world, is that they are not American and that they do everything in-house. They're Canadian owned, they're Canadian run, they're Canadian sourced. Everything about them is Canadian. And I thought it was just the perfect place to hold our gala. And people who came into that gala had such a great time. The chefs and, the food was incredible. And Vince can probably, speak to that, when he comes on next time, and he can give you, some stuff about Pendance. Maybe Jonathan, can speak on that as well. But a lot of people came to that gala and they felt really loved. And I remember as I was talking to the owner of the gala, the gala venue, which is Nickel 9, it's located on 90 Cawthra. I'm just giving them a shout out. They helped us so much. I got to give them a shout out. 90 Cawthra Road, Unit 100. Go in, say I sent you. It's a great space. If you got a wedding, a gala, anything, check that space out. It's incredible, and the people behind it are awesome. So I say that to say that at the end, as I was thanking them for their generosity and their hospitality and for supporting us, because Lord knows we did not have the budget to run that gala and cater that gala the way they did for us. Like, we would have ordered pizza at our gala with the budget that we had remaining after the expenses of this week. They oh man, the food was so good, the drinks were so good, everything was so good, people felt so taken care of. And they were saying, like, let's do it again next year, hope you'll be back next year. And my first words out of my mouth were, let's 10x it. Let's 10x it. Let's do this 10 times bigger. So right now, my vision is, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of being at 2%. I'm sick of being at 1%. I'm sick of running this podcast, always tired. I'm sick of, always feeling like I'm falling apart. I'm sick of just feeling like I'm not doing my best. I'm really tired of wondering what that best would look like. I'm tired of destroying my body with sugar and lack of sleep. I'm tired of just feeling unhealthy and feeling somewhat embarrassed about that. I'm tired of being snappy because I'm over caffeinated and underslept. I'm just tired of not putting my best foot forward. People talk about a fear of failure. I don't know if enough people talk about a fear of success. I think sometimes success can threaten a lot about us, you know? So you got to baby step your way up to success. I think a lot of people could probably ask for a promotion. They don't ask for the promotion because they're almost like, I don't know what I would do with that promotion. It would shatter everything I know about myself. So you go through your entire life and you're told that you're not a leader. You're not a leader. What if you became a leader? It would change everything you know about yourself, you know? So I think I've been pretty good throughout most of my life at challenging myself to move forward and to do hard things and to do difficult things. I think it's just an important thing for me to get back to that. It's an important thing for me to get back to what makes me me. And what makes me me is that I like to fail. I love to fail. I love to dream big and I love to fail big. A lot of people hate failure. I am not one of those people. I enjoy failure. I like to set the bar high. I like to say I want to be the best Raptors podcast. I didn't say I wanted to be the 8th best, 9th best, 10th best, 12th best. It's too easy. Got to be the best. You know, I said I wanted to be one of the 25 best film festivals in the world. You know how many people came up to me this year and, you know, had that, like, this is the best event I've ever been to. This is the best films I've ever seen. Yeah, we need 1,000 more people. We need 10,000 more people to feel that way. So I'm going to do everything in my power to do everything I haven't done for the last 4 years, you know, with this, as God is my witness, as you as my witness. I'm going to be better. I'm going to be a lot better. I'm going to get better at this. I'm going to get better at that. And, you know, next year for Pendance, I want PC there. I want Player's Choice at Pendance. I want a full 400 friggin' seat auditorium sold out for a live show. That's a dream of mine. I want more world premieres. We have some world premieres. That's a really big deal. Most festivals do never get a world premiere of a decent film. We get them every year. I want like 10 more next year. We had 71 films this year. I want 100 films next year. We had a team of 7 this year. I want a team of 70 next year. I want a 10x it. I really want a 10x it. It's going to require a lot of work. It's not going to take away from PENSARE basketball. There's the Icarus in me. Oh, no. I'm not just gonna, no. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work out. I'm going to get, you know, I've been standing shorter. Like, it was the weirdest shit ever. Like, I don't go out nearly enough anymore. But like over the last like month and a half to 2 months, I've been really noticing this shit. Like, where I'm just like kind of like this, you know, like I'm just like this all the time. I don't know what the fuck happened to me. I didn't used to stand like this. It's like you talk different when your chest is out. Like you do. Like you talk different, you feel different. When your chest is out and your back is straight, you feel different. When you bird chested and you're like I was telling, you know, my friend Cass, I was like, bro, I played 4 sports in high school. Right now, I look like I was afraid of nuts, you know? So I got a long way to go. But I'm not going to let anything drop. I'm not going to let the panel drop. I'm going to be better on the panel. I'm not going to let PENSARE basketball drop. Y'all going to get better videos from me. I'm not letting Pendance drop. I'm not letting my film career drop. I'm not letting my body drop. I'm going to do it all because there's 24 hours in a day, and far too often over the last 4 years, I can honestly say I don't know what I did with about 20 of them. And I used to be a person who used to be able to count for every single minute of my day. So it's time to get back to that. But obviously, first, I got to do a lot of work for Pendance. I got to do the next 2 days, thank yous, emails, posts, pictures, make sure everybody gets out, make sure everybody knows what event they actually missed. Because to anyone out there in event planning, you know, like 80% of an event is the aftermath, right? It's letting people know for the next time, this is what you missed. And then using that FOMO, you know, next year when I tell you, hey, Pendance, y'all got to come see this. You know what I mean? Maybe take me a little bit more seriously next year. Maybe everybody takes this a little bit more seriously next year. So it's very important to do that post-festival wrap. And we often really do a bad job of it. So yeah. Stephen MC saying, what can we do as a community to support you? Well, everybody knows someone who likes films, right? Literally everyone. There's someone in your phone. There's someone in your life that loves cinema. Okay. Now, over the last year, I have devoted 900 times more effort into basketball panel and PENSARE basketball than I have into Pendance Film Festival. So weirdly enough, if you follow us on Pendance Film Festival on IG, you'll be surprised. The posts about Pendance on Pensare Basketball are getting more views, more story views than the posts on the than on the Pendance main account. That's bizarre to me. But you know what it tells me? It means that one community has basically been underwatered because the Pendance community hasn't heard from me, hasn't heard from us. We haven't done anything. We're not providing value. We're not adding, we're not adding value to their lives. So then once a year, when we're like, hey, we're running a film festival again, they're just like, I haven't heard from you for 11 months. You know what I mean? That's got to change. That's got to 100% change. We got to add value to people's lives. That plant must be watered because it's been watered for 8 years and it's a beautiful thing and it supports people just like this brand supports people. This brand supports Scotty and it supports the Raptors and it supports you, hopefully. Well, that brand also supports people, very different people, but it supports artists and it supports people who love stories. So my thought to you would be, if you genuinely want to help, if you want to help me, if you want to help Pendance, it's not about money. It's really not. I mean, honestly, I was willing to give away every single ticket for Basketball State if y'all would have me. It's not about money. I don't get anything from that. It's just about letting people know, because so much of event marketing is pay to play, right? You got to have the publicist. That's money. I have news for you. A really good publicist costs you $10,000. So if I want to get my ass onto CTV and CBC and talking about this on the morning show, well, first of all, barrier number one, I don't want to be on TV. So that's number one. I got to fix that. So maybe someone else on our team got to do that. But the second thing is, the actual marketing, like the ads and all that shit. That's got to be front and center. That's got to be in the newspapers. That's got to be, all over. That's got to be. Then there's the design, like all of that. That's going to cost a lot of money. So the way to compensate for that right now is word of mouth, right? Letting people know that there is this film festival that promotes story and human beings, and it's great. And it's like great films. You're not going to waste your time. You're not going to watch bullshit. If you do watch bullshit, it's going to be very new bullshit, and you're going to be the first person in the world to see it. It's usually not bullshit. I mean, it's a mix of horror and art house and dramas and comedies. I mean, like the entire theater was laughing. You're telling me that's a, it's something there. So, you don't have to do anything. Honestly, y'all do enough. Y'all bear with me as I talk about Pendance for 1 month a year, run ads on this. You didn't sign up for that. You signed up for Basketball Takes, and I appreciate that. So anyone who feels like I don't want to do that, that's totally cool. We're totally cool. I don't expect you to do that. But to those of you who want to do that, just let somebody know. That is how small businesses thrive. That's how this channel thrives. How many people are here because somebody told them, you got to check this out? How many people are here because someone posted a link? Every small creator, every small bakery that you're thinking about, every small, catering company, every small cleaning company, every small dog walking company, every little entrepreneur in the whole world thrives on word of mouth, because we don't have the $1 million budget that TIFF does to promote the shit out of this event. So that's what you can do. You can tell 5 people that love cinema about this event, and that is cool. But you know what the truth is? Like, if you just spam them, it's not going to really work. You kind of got to see it for yourself. So sometimes you got to come maybe to a couple screenings and just feel it out for yourself. And then if you actually got something genuine to say, do you know how many people like came on Thursday, loved it so much, brought 4 people on Friday? Like, that's just how it works, right? So it's stuff like that. We on our side got to do a lot better too. We got to do better with outreach. We got to do better with community outreach. I mean, we had like fantastic films that we could have paired with community groups, Spanish, Korean, Vietnamese. Like, we could have totally partnered with communities. We gotta get better at that too. Trust me. The fact that this festival did not sell out is not on the TTC. It's not anybody. It's on me. It's on me. I didn't have enough time. I didn't give myself enough time. The Brandon Ingram trade, my dog passing away, it was a little too much. And by the time I kind of got my ass into gear, it was just a little too late to completely sell it out. So yeah, that would fucking help. Cawthra Avenue. That's what it is. It is 90 Cawthra Avenue, Unit 100 for Nickel 9. They're awesome. Really. Just really, really cool space. Yeah. Anyways, I've rambled on long enough. I got some emails to write. No, I'm not sleeping. I know someone said, hey, please sleep. No. Yeah. But Stephen MC, this went a very, very long way. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Obviously, this month's going to be a little bit tight. I didn't do lives for like the first 4 days. So, you know, I got some catching up to do on the monthly revenue. So thank you so much. FC saying, I didn't know about Pendance until this channel. Do you know how many people have found out about Pendance through this channel? I actually ran, if y'all remember, do y'all remember the RJ Barrett video? The RJ Barrett and Scotty video? You know the secret genius of that video? I'll show you. Hang on. So RJ Barrett, Scotty Barnes. Hang on one sec. So do y'all remember this? Oh my God. You know what's hilarious? Getting ads on your own videos is such a conundrum because you know it's technically supporting yourself, but it's also an ad and it's mad annoying. Okay, here. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid opined at the time that the 17-18 Montverde Eagles might be his most talented team ever. On the other hand, you had Scotty Barnes and Vernon Carey leading the university school, a team which had started out the season unranked but had risen to third throughout a dominant campaign by Barnes and Carey. People didn't know who Scotty was at the start of the year. They were certainly about to find out. First, a quick word from our sponsor. The Pendance Film Festival is happening February 22nd to 25th. It is a celebration of international films. It is a brilliant film festival in its 7th season. Prior to the COVID pandemic, it was the fastest growing film festival in the world. What is my affiliation with Pendance? What are they paying me to say this? Well, I am Pendance. I'm the festival director and founder of Pendance. It is my baby. And if you love great films, if you have a film lover in your life, this is a worthwhile event for you, happening in downtown Toronto at the Carlton Cinema. February 22nd to 25th. Make sure to check this out. Link is in the description below for tickets and passes. Tickets will go on sale soon. Passes. You get my point? So the brilliance of that video is not only did it help PENSARE Basketball blow up because it had over 200,000 views, but it was also a free promo for Pendance. This is how we do. This is how we do. So look, it doesn't have to be how we do. We need to get government grants. We need to get better sponsors. We need to get more sponsors. We need to get sponsors who will still let us be ourselves and not become, you know, a billboard for Pepsi. Okay, because I'll never do that. I'll never run a film festival, Pendance, presented by Pepsi. Oh my God, shoot me. I'll never do that. I'm not a corporate sellout. I'm not a panderer. I'm not like some woke police or anything like that. Pendance is about honest films. It's about honest cinema. And, you know, if you don't know this, I made this festival for my unborn children because I wanted them to still have a space where they could watch great films when they grow older. Because I don't see a lot of that. I see a lot of corporate bullshit in the festival world. I think film festivals are very, very important. They're a meeting space. You know, we're losing our meeting spaces in this world. I don't know if y'all know this, but we are, right? We used to go to the mall. Now we shop at Amazon. We used to go to the barbershop. You know what I mean? Like, well, some of us still go to the barbershop. My point is, like, the more you order shit to your house, the more you lose the social connection with people, the physical stuff, the physical events after the pandemic. It's been really tough. It's been really, really tough. Concerts, you don't really talk to people at concerts. Festivals can be a brilliant place to meet people from different walks of life. And an international film festival in the winter is a brilliant business idea. Trust me when I say it is a brilliant business idea. I may not have executed it perfectly, but from the perspective of what it offers, it is brilliant. Hotels are always underbooked in Toronto during the winter. If Pendance became as big as TIFF or Sundance, we could stock up like those hotels every year. Do you realize that? Now, the business pitch for Pendance is very easy, and I'm gonna just let you know what the business pitch is, just in case some of you know that. Like, if you know, like, corporate sponsors who want to get in touch with us, hey, that's a way you can help. If some of you have ins to corporate sponsors that you want to DM me about, or if you want to email me about, this is a wild shot, but we got a really smart community here, and there's going to be over 1,000 people who watch this. So maybe you do know, and maybe the best thing that I can do right now is just to ask for help. So if you have ins with sponsorships, so hotels, airlines, things like this, catering, breweries, event spaces, event companies, entertainment companies, things of this nature. I think that would be very, very helpful. That would be deeply helpful, actually. Stephen MC saying, I love you, bro. I want to help you out. I want to get a hold of you. Turkey, 1 of 1, I guarantee. I can solve your problem in 20 minutes. That's all good I am. Okay, reach out. If you could solve my problem in 20 minutes, shoot. It'd take me 20 years to solve my problem. Maybe you're smarter than me. So it's just Joseph saying, Rob, maybe consider doing Pendance during All-Star Weekend. Will allow you to manage everything better. It won't entirely, because at some point I expect to be official credited NBA media. Like I know I'm on my way to doing that anyways, and I just have to fill out a few forms. Like the offer has been made, like I just haven't taken it. So at some point I want to be able to cover All-Star Weekend too. So that's kind of like the tough idea of it, but yeah. Anyways, so what I was saying was we need sponsors. We need to, we need to pack up the grants. We need to do all that stuff. I do believe we deserve it. But the business side of this for any, hotels, airlines, etc., this is a very, very good idea. Hotels are the city. Tourism sucks in February. It's just a really dead space. We can fill that dead space with thousands of people if enough, people want to support this, if enough businesses, if enough governments want to, government bodies want to support this, we can make this amazing. We really can. There's no reason that we need to lose money on Pendance every single year. There's no reason I need to be begging PENSARE basketball community members to show up to a screening at 12 o'clock to support a filmmaker. We should have this shit taken care of. I'm just thinking too small time. I need to think bigger time. And honestly, this festival deserves it. And this festival has an incredible reputation. There's so many people that probably people you see on TV every single day who admire Pendance from a distance. They've reached out to us and let us know, hey, like what you're doing is amazing. So I just think at this point, Pendance is being held back by me and my limiting beliefs, me and my disorganization, me and my crazy calendar, me and my depression or my anxiety or my, stupid Puma hat. So at this point, I'm just ready to stop making excuses and I'm ready to show y'all what, a redemption arc looks like. I'll see you at Pendance 2026. I'll also see you after the next game, but I got a lot of work to do. Let's get it. Peace.